Hello and welcome back to another episode of HBO Max. I am your host, Makenna. Joining me as always is Brandon. How are you today, Brandon?
Yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Everything's totally
It's
fine.
totally fine. Oh boy. We watched in our thrilling conclusion for possibly for now of our Fantastic Beasts Where to Find Them series thingy. We watched The Secrets of Dumbledore. And it was a movie.
What'd you think of the movie, McKenna? What'd you think of the movie?
I personally thought it was better than the second movie.
So did I.
Okay, cool. Okay.
I think it's arguably better than the first one.
Okay. I can.
It's either like slightly worse than the first one or slightly better, and it's hard to tell.
Yes. I agree.
This was the first one that I watched all in one sitting. I didn't have to take a break for this one.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just because it's the first one where it was like something new.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it before.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still very bad.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, I felt like I had messaged you about halfway through. I was like, I think I've been watching this movie for like 3 weeks. Like it.
Yeah.
I felt very long to me.
It's very long.
Yes.
It's over 2 hours, right?
Yeah, it's almost 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it's like 2:20, and that's way too long.
Oh, yeah.
It's both way too long and somehow not long enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it feels like an hour of material got cut out of this movie.
Oh, I'm sure there was. Yeah. Well, I read somewhere that like when they delayed it the first time, they like had to fine tune the script. So I'm sure a bunch of stuff got cut out from that first.
Yeah,
go
it
around.
feels like they probably wrote like a 4-hour script.
Yeah.
Because there's plot lines that just drop off a cliff.
Yep.
Yeah. The thing is that like this is just like a normal bad movie.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like it's just a regular bad movie. The second one did not function as a movie.
No.
Like it wasn't a movie.
No, not at all. It was.
This one is hard to follow. A lot of the stuff, most of the movie is totally pointless, but it's not like in the last one, like the plot of that movie is completely incomprehensible.
It's also a lot less characters to figure out why they're there, what they're doing.
Yeah, well, it's still tough.
Oh,
Like we have a decent returning cast. You know who they don't have to spend a lot of time.
Yeah.
Like one character basically we get introduced to about like we had to figure out like who she is, but that's about it.
Right.
But yeah, it's mostly just pretty bad.
Yeah. It's a rough one. I suppose before we get more into it, run through some facts and figures, which I only have 4 because this movie came out 2 months ago.
Yeah,
so
we haven't gotten like a, and also like it came out in a time where like the movies weren't back yet.
Yeah, exactly.
And like nobody cared, so like we don't have all the interviews of people talking about the movie and stuff because mostly they really just dumped this thing out.
Yeah, it was there. So yeah, it was released April 15th, 2022. It had a budget of $200 million, box office $401 million. So far, it is the 7th highest grossing film of 2022. However, it's the lowest.
That's not saying too much.
No, it's not.
There's only been like 1 or 2 like big movies that like smashed the box office,
and they're still in theaters. Doctor Strange and
Top
and
Gun's still killing it.
Top Gun is killing. I still need to see it. This movie is the lowest grossing in all of the Wizarding World franchise. We had the return of Steve Kloves writing the script to help J.K. Rowling. And this is also the 4th, technically the 5th, wait, no, I missed the words. 4, technically 5 actors have now played Grindelwald, in all of both Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts. So you
Okay,
know.
right, because there's the guy in Deathly Hallows, right?
There's two. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. So it's like
Wait, there's two
So
guys?
it's like
Oh,
the
because
older
young
one and
Grindelwald,
then the young
the
one.
one who
But
steals the wand.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. 5 actors have played Grindelwald.
I
That's
know.
crazy.
I wonder who will play him in the next one, if there is a next one.
Mads Mikkelsen is the best.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Mads Mikkelsen is well, I mean, Colin Farrell did a pretty good job, but he was doing a different thing.
Right.
Mads Mikkelsen is very good in this movie.
I agree.
He's very good in every movie. He's really, really good. But like, especially because like they move to like the directions this movie takes it. For some reason, again, it's like a political thriller for no reason. J.K. Rowling cannot stop writing political thrillers, even though she's awful at it.
Yeah. No.
But like if you took the Johnny Depp from the last movie and put him in this movie, it would just be like just so out of this world of like, why would anybody vote for this? Look at him.
Yeah, apparently he filmed one scene before he left. And I'm very curious to know which scene that was. Just but yeah, it would have been. I like that Mads Mikkelsen sort of got his own look. Like they didn't copy the Johnny Depp.
They didn't give him the stupid eyes. They didn't give him the
They
stupid
did,
haircut.
but it wasn't as like
it's very subtle.
It's
like
very
you can't
subtle.
just, like,
yeah.
Yeah.
And like the hair. He's just
his hair looks awesome in this movie.
Yeah,
like actually, like what they do with Mads Mikkelsen, like his whole design and stuff, actually looks like an intimidating evil wizard.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Everything else in the movie completely doesn't work, and they make Grindelwald really stupid. But
yeah,
he looks really cool, and that helps.
Yeah, it's
also like Jude Law at parts in this movie actually pulls off young Dumbledore extremely well. Like especially at the end with like the scarf and everything. Like he actually does look like young Dumbledore. I was actually pretty impressed by that.
Yeah, I do enjoy some Jude Law, and they did acknowledge that Dumbledore loves Grindelwald. It's like, oh,
I like that they did that.
Yeah.
I don't think there's ever a part in the movie where it sells that they loved each other.
Yeah.
Like, and that's mostly on the script, not the actors. Like, at the end of the movie where Grindelwald's like, "Who's gonna love you now, Dumbledore?" That's like the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen.
I know. And then like they feel each other's heartbeats at one point, and like that's what stops it. It's like,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was. But yeah, it was. Dude, Dumbledore can't catch a break. Like his whole life, he just can't catch a break. As someone wants to kill him at all times, and I feel bad for the dude. Like.
He deserves it.
Okay, that is fair.
He's kind of a piece of shit.
Okay, no, you do have a point.
You know what's a huge problem that these movies, especially like these last two movies, never fix, and is a huge problem with the character. Why did Dumbledore just stop being evil?
I know.
Because he spent a decent amount of time being evil, apparently, and then he was just like, you know what, I'm good.
Yeah, he just flipped the switch. It was probably after Ariana died. Or was killed, I think, is like when he flipped the switch, but
yeah, I guess.
But I wouldn't, cause like
he was like he just like hated Muggles, wanted to kill all Muggles, and then he was just like, nah, I'm chill about it.
I'm okay. I'm gonna move on with my life.
Yeah, I like Muggles now, actually.
Yeah, JK. Yeah, it's okay. So. In the Hog's Head, Dumbledore just sort of rehashes the Deathly Hallows thing with Ariana, and I was like, bro, we know what went down in Deathly Hallows. I don't know.
Did they explain it in the movie?
They
I don't think they did in the movie. I don't think they did.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, no, I'm just okay. No, that's fair. Never mind.
Remember, like they like in the movies, they barely had any Aberforth in them at all.
That's right. Yeah.
Like, he basically just shows up to get Harry into Hogwarts, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and even... So. Yeah, because in the books, that's, like, Aberforth explains, like, what happened.
Yeah. And he does a lot more in the books. And it's literally like he just shows up and he's like, I got a secret passage into Hogwarts. That's the entire point of the
Yeah.
movies, which just, it kind of sucks.
Yeah. All right, never mind then. That's good that was in the movie. I just sort of it merged in my head. I completely forgot that it wasn't in Harry Potter proper. I'm not gonna lie, I did like my brain shut off during that part because it was like I already know.
Your brain gets shut off through most of this movie.
Yeah,
Most of it doesn't matter.
There were a few times I would get distracted. I had to rewind like a couple of times because it's like I was not paying attention. I don't know what just happened. Yeah, it was.
I had that same experience, except I didn't rewind. I was just like, yeah, it probably doesn't matter.
Also, there was no Nagini, and there was barely any Tina.
No Nagini at all.
There was like 2 scenes with Tina.
Yeah, so I heard some rumors about the Tina thing. It doesn't totally make sense to me, because I heard that the actress who played Tina had spoken out a little bit about J.K. Rowling's transphobia, and then people were like, okay, and that's why she's not in the movie. But she is in the movie.
Yeah.
She's just barely in the movie. And they do kind of do some neat, like, they don't resolve it particularly well, but like they go into some interesting places with Newt being on the autistic spectrum in this movie. And they mostly don't land it.
Yes.
Like, they mostly just bring it up and then don't do anything with it. And I think, like, the idea of him, like, not really getting Tina and, like, relationship dynamics, I think is interesting. And they just should have put more of it in the movie.
Right.
Like, I imagine, because like I said, I think that there's, like, a 4-hour version of the script. I imagine there's more Tina in that parts of the script. And that they just, like, they probably plan on doing more with her in the 4th movie that's not happening.
What do you think the 4th movie? Because obviously the 5th movie is going to be the big Dumbledore Grindelwald battle, like their final battle type of deal. What would the 4th movie? What would that have been?
I guess it would. I guess it would be sort of like an Order of the Phoenix kind of thing, like the building of the armies and stuff.
Right.
And then there would. I hate the way that they shoehorn the magical beasts into these 2 movies. I got a thing. We're gonna talk about it later. But so there would be some kind of magical beast that they have to fight over.
Of course.
But I mean, that's the thing, is that, like, there is way less story. Like, there's not enough story for 5 movies, so every single one of these movies is such a small amount of things happening that I bet it would mostly just be, like, building armies, and then they're gonna fight. And I bet that they would. I can't remember exactly where the timeline is at this, but I think we're getting, like, right up to World War II now.
I think so. Yes. Maybe.
So I imagine a lot of the movie would focus on Grindelwald. He's confusing because his plan doesn't. He wants to stop World War II, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly what that looks like, but I imagine that's probably where they go with it. And then you do the big blowout war in the next one.
Do you think we would get Hitler?
I bet his name gets dropped, but I bet they don't cast an actor to play Hitler.
In my head now, I'm thinking because they set this movie in Berlin, that's how they get around the Hitler thing. Like, boom. We don't gotta cast an actor for Hitler. But that's just me being me. Apparently,
I would imagine they would just, like, use actual photos of Hitler.
Yeah.
And, like, it would be those things where, like, they look at a newspaper of Hitler and then they would talk about him for a little bit, but they don't actually do any scenes of Hitler.
Right. Apparently this movie was also supposed to be in Brazil, but because of COVID stuff, they had to do it in Bhutan and Berlin. So there's, we missed out on Brazil.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm curious because I feel like I don't know what that would have looked like. Well, obviously, I mean, it would have been cool because it's Brazil.
I like the idea of going around and checking on like wizarding communities
Yes.
that haven't been touched on yet.
100%.
I like a little bit like I like the bit where Dumbledore like talks about the monastery in where is it? Tibet, right?
I think so, yeah.
I think it's Tibet, and he's like, yeah, like a lot of the magic came from there. I think that's an interesting idea. I would like more of that and less of like the rest of the movie.
Yeah, it's really interesting because like right when the Fantastic Beasts movies came out, that's when we started getting more about the different wizarding communities. Like we learned about Ilvermorny and we already knew about Durmstrang and Beauxbaton, but like we learned about like the Japanese school, and there's a school in Kenya and stuff like that. And it's really interesting to hear or to like what the information that comes out about each different school and like the traditions and everything.
I think a big problem in this movie is that there isn't anybody from Berlin involved in the movie at all.
Right.
Like they're just in Berlin.
Yeah.
Like it could be set anywhere. Like
Right.
the setting literally I honestly didn't know they were in Berlin for most of the movie.
Yeah.
Because they keep going back and forth to Hogwarts. I assumed that they were just in England.
Yeah, that it is. I don't know why they had to keep going. Well, I guess Dumbledore. Never mind. Okay, Dumbledore.
Yeah, it's okay. So the biggest problem with this movie and the last movie is that Newt isn't the main character of the movie.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But because of the way that they structured the series, everything has to be filtered through Newt.
Yes.
So like they keep having to be like, okay, Dumbledore can't get involved, so he has to stay at Hogwarts the entire time. But Dumbledore is the main character of the movie, so we have to keep going back and forth. It's very stupid.
It is. And yeah, like to your point about not knowing, like it's also confusing. Like why? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When they showed Hogwarts, I'm getting choked up thinking about it. When they showed Hogwarts and they played Hedwig's theme, I wasn't expecting it. I got chills. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm not the biggest fan that they didn't come up with like the theme is heavily influenced by Hedwig's theme. Like I sort of wish there was like a new theme. But I did get chills when Hedwig.
Well, it's what you do in the movie, right? You go to Hogwarts and you play the thing for the audience so that they have the moment of like, oh, it's Harry Potter. Yeah, I forgot what movie I was watching, I just remembered.
It's like I thought I had seen all of this, but no, here's a new one. Like, and the like little snitch. Although the Quidditch player flying by did not look great, but it'd be like that.
Yeah, the CGI in these movies are really bad.
Yeah, it's not great. Not wonderful.
And they use it too much is really what the problem is. Mm-hmm. And like it works pretty decently when they go into like the dungeon in this one because it's all in the dark. Mm-hmm. And so it's pretty fine. Everything else is pretty bad. Mm-hmm. And like the insistence on focusing all the movies around animals that don't exist. Like the actors are constantly picking up animals, and it's so obviously that there's nothing in their hands. Yeah. Like it doesn't even look like they're holding an animal. It just looks like they're holding like a bag of sand.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I hated that dungeon scene. It may have just because the creatures look like spiders, and that's like my biggest fear. But I just hate it. And like
I didn't think about them as spiders. I don't think they look like crabs mostly.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Like they were like half scorpion, half crab.
Yeah, the little ones remind me of crabs. Like the big one, no, it was like hair. Ooh, no, I'm good.
You never really get to see the big one. You see it like for like a second, but it's mostly just like this weird scorpion tail.
Well, yeah, yeah, it's
What the fuck is up with wizard prisons?
I don't know. Also, yeah, no. It's why?
Like why do they don't have any normal prisons?
No.
Every single prison is like a crime against humanity.
terrible. Like,
It is worse than any prison that exists in the world.
Like, do you lose the light in your torch and you're murdered? Like,
Oh, you just like make a sound.
You make anything. He's like, oh, you're dead. Oh well, like, and it, I don't understand because there is Grindelwald built that other prison. That's why. Never mind. Because there's Nuremberg, but Grindelwald built that too when he did his.
Yeah, it's just like they just turned his house into a.
Yeah.
Because he hung out in Nuremberg in the last movie, right?
I think so. I don't. I quickly learned.
I remember it got mentioned in the last movie.
Yeah. I quickly learned. I forgot almost all the plot points from the last movie. Like, I forgot like the whole. Like when Yusuf came back, I completely forgot about his storyline. I forgot, like, Layla Lestrange. She was a thing for a hot
None
sec.
of it matters.
None of it exactly. That's the
None
thing.
of it
Like,
matters.
I had one note, and I just that's completely forgot. I just watched that movie last week. Like, none of it matters.
Literally none of it.
Even
mattered.
the people who play Grindelwald, that doesn't matter.
Like you said last week, it was entirely just an epilogue to the last movie. It's a 2-hour bridge in between these two movies that doesn't need to happen.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's. I'm happy though that Bunty is back and better than ever. She was the true hero of this story.
Yeah, that was weird.
It was weird. She stressed me out every time she was there. But she did have the case at the end, so Bunty to the rescue.
That was weird.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was, I can't even form a complete thought about it. It was just, like, yeah. The chillin' still confuses me.
Yeah, it should.
Yeah, like,
the chill.
Shall we do it? Let's get to the chill.
Okay. So this is a symptom of the larger problem with the series, which is that because they have decided Newt Scamander has to be the protagonist of all of these movies for no reason. Every movie has to revolve around magical beasts in some way. So in this movie, they have just shoehorned in a magic deer that determines who gets to be president.
I also what I was so confused about who they were electing until the very end. I thought they were just electing a German
We're not
minister
introduced
for
to any of
magic.
the characters.
No. And I was like, why is this, like, choosing ceremony being broadcast to all the other ministries of magic? I had to look it up. It's like, oh no, this is, like, top dog of, like, the wizarding community.
Yeah, we're never told that that's a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a United Nations of the wizarding world.
Yeah.
Where the fuck are these people when Voldemort's around?
No.
They never get brought up. Do they get dissolved? Is this the League of Nations? Were they around for like 20 years?
This is the wizarding version of the League of Nations. And
it is post World War I. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're just around for like 50 years and then go away forever.
Yeah, no biggie. It's fine. And then, like, okay, the chillin'.
But also, they have actual like authoritative powers because Grindelwald's plan is to become the president of a League of Nations that we've never heard of before, so that he can declare war on all the Muggles.
All of them. Like, okay,
all of them.
Do you think? Okay, I want to get back to this chilling, but I have. What is the Muggle to wizard ratio of the world?
It has to be like significantly. Like if you think about it, like every wizard in England goes to Hogwarts.
Right.
An entire generation of wizards fits into one school.
One school. And this
London
is
has probably like 1,000 primary schools.
Yeah. Yeah. So that, I would love, no, love isn't the right word. I'd be very interested to see how Grindelwald thinks this war. Yeah, sure. They got magic, but like.
This is probably one of the last years it's feasible that the wizards can win that war.
Yeah. So, that's it. Yeah. I want the fourth and fifth movie,
like,
just out of curiosity.
Can a large number of wizards outstand a Maxim gun?
Lest we forget, Voldemort does the same thing in the 90s. Thinks that he can take on all the Muggles in the 90s.
Yeah, and we have nuclear weapons at that point.
Yeah, like, what's Voldemort gonna do about it? He got Big Snake.
Like, if they just like nuked Azkaban, it's probably over.
Right.
I guess there is like a logistical problem of that, like the humans don't like know how to get to the wizarding world, but like the wizards have to come to them.
If the wizards want to abolish the Muggles ain't gonna go to exactly. Yeah.
And like you have to like shoot with your wand like one at a time to each individual person. And again, we have the Maxim gun now. Thousands of World War I soldiers were mowed down in seconds.
It's not looking good for the wizards. I'll tell you what. And then also, but you also got to think, like, it's not the whole wizarding community, because some of them are going to join the Muggles. So they even got less people on their side. Like,
that's true. We will have some wizards assisting.
Some wizards. A number that I don't know. I just want to know.
Like, what's a wizard gonna do against a tank?
Exactly. Nothing.
Like, I mean, I guess they can like move it around, but like, you got multiple. Like, yeah, I don't believe that like the wizarding world could actually win a war against, like, especially like today. Absolutely
yeah,
not.
No, it's.
Yeah. We have predator drones now.
It does not look good for them. So the chilling.
Okay, the chilling. Let's get back to the chilling.
The chilling. Okay. How? So many things. The chilling. Okay, first off, was it necessary to show Grindelwald slitting the thread of the chillin'? Not really. That was.
It is and it isn't.
I cried. That was sad.
It is like immediately like it's sort of like when he killed the baby in the last one. Like immediately, like, oh, he's a bad guy, which you don't need in this one. But it is good that Queenie watches it. Like, that's good. And she's like, it's like, oh yeah, she's not prepared for like anything that's going on in this world.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, and then like,
but also like he doesn't need to slit his throat. He can just like Avada Kedavra it. Right.
It was just because that's what they did with the big mama one.
So why does he have to kill it? Can't he like charm it? Can he charm it?
No, I mean that's what he ended up doing. Like, it just doesn't make. I don't understand. How?
Because his plan ends up being really shitty because it just like it does its job and then immediately dies again.
Right. It also like doesn't have like the little glowy bits on its chest, so like why didn't anyone else notice that? Like if that's how they choose their leaders, they should know that they have the glowy bits. But this
I don't know. You're watching it on that weird colorless magic TV.
the
You
curtain.
probably don't notice.
But like the other dude, someone's gotta know. Like I don't know. And then I will admit the chillin' is cute. I love his big adorable eyes. Okay, that's that on the chillin'. And then yeah, and then he's just like then Grindelwald's in like that weird pool just trying to like resuscitate it in his clothes, and he's like trying to resuscitate it.
Yeah.
It's I don't know.
It's very strange. It's a very stupid thing that doesn't need to be in the movie.
Right. But because it's Fantastic Beasts,
it's Fantastic
they had to do
Beasts.
it.
So they had to do it.
We had to find him.
Weird how when they're doing elections in the future, where like they're electing the new Minister of Magic, the Chillin' doesn't show up.
I know.
Weird. It's almost like it was invented entirely for this movie.
I wanted to look in the Fantastic Beasts movie. I couldn't get it out in time because I had stuff in front of it. But I'm so curious to know if the Chillin' is in the book or not.
I can't imagine.
It linked to a Wikipedia page from like I think it was like a mythological creature, but like I didn't read it at all. I think it's maybe Chinese mythology. Maybe I'm not sure.
I'm looking it up right now.
Cool.
Oh wow, it's spelled super weird.
Yeah, it's what you thought it was spelled. No, not at all. It's it's an odd spelling. Yeah, they're doing what they do best and making up things for.
It appears that it was made for the movie.
It was made for the movie. Okay. Okay. No. Yeah.
There is like an ancient, a legendary hooved chimerical creature that appears in Chinese mythology called the Chillin', spelt that way.
Interesting.
Doesn't look at all like the thing.
No.
I wonder if does it have the same, like, can it see like all the aspects of your life and decide if you're a good person or not? I don't know.
It bowing to Dumbledore threw me off.
Yeah, that seems wrong.
Yeah. Especially with what we know about him up to that point as well. No.
Yeah, in like 60 years, he's gonna try to get a child killed.
Yeah, like he's. But good for that woman Santos for winning. Woo. People apparently like.
Yeah, we don't know anything about her. We don't know why she's the right choice.
No. How did Grindelwald? Well, never mind. I think I answered my own question. I'll ask anyway. How did Grindelwald get acquitted of all of his crimes and then be able to run for like super?
Apparently, the Wizarding world is just ridiculously corrupt. Got
it. Okay.
And they just, because it's the same thing with fucking Voldemort, where they're just like, yeah, no, we don't fucking care. We're just everybody in office is evil. They're all evil.
Okay. Yeah, that's what
And I thought that it seemed incredibly flimsy and stupid, but
here we are.
Might be more realistic than we thought.
Yeah. Yeah, it checks out.
But like, it's just written so poorly is the problem. Mm-hmm. Is that it's just like, why Does the guy in charge want to start a war with the Muggles? We don't know. They never say.
Right.
Why is this one person the person who gets to decide whether or not Dumbledore gets acquitted? He's German, right? He's just a German guy.
Right.
Grindelwald did all of his crimes in America and then was getting taken to the UK. So why does a German guy get to pardon him of all of his crimes? That doesn't make sense.
No sense. Also, I did not realize, like, when they acquitted him of his crimes, I did not expect that to happen in that scene, because it did not seem, like, maybe I missed something?
They don't tell you why they're there.
Okay, I was so afraid that I missed something. Yes, I had no clue what was going on.
They show up at a place, and Newt tells the guy a thing that happened off camera.
Right.
Apparently before the movie started. And we don't know why anybody is there.
No. And then he's
that is what most of this movie is people showing up and we don't know why they're there and we don't know why things are happening the way that they're happening. Why did Dumbledore set up Kowalski to attempted murder Grindelwald? Why did that happen? The implication of the movie is for some reason that makes them go to Tibet.
Yeah. It
but we
0 sense. Also, like, what did, assuming Kowalski was not immediately taken down as he was, what did Kowalski think he was going to do when he stuck a wand in Grindelwald's face? Like, there's no core in that wand, so I'm sure I
think he's thinking that because he doesn't like have like good magical knowledge or whatever, and he's trying to get like his girlfriend back. I think he's thinking that he can just kind of like strong arm Grindelwald and get out of there, which is very stupid, but like not totally unbelievable. Like it would essentially be the equivalent of like a guy pulling out a fake gun and doing the same thing, which is a scene I could see in another movie, right?
Right.
I still don't know why the wand does what it does. That doesn't get explained.
No.
So apparently Dumbledore like enchanted this wand so that when he pulls it out near Grindelwald, a fucking tornado happens.
The whole wand story.
You're meant to believe that Dumbledore isn't putting Kowalski in danger,
right?
But he really seems to be just being like, yeah, if he dies, that's not a big deal.
It's a muggle. We know how he feels about muggles.
Yeah.
It's just... I do like the scene, though, when they're at Hogwarts, which I have a gripe with Kowalski being at Hogwarts, but I'll get to that in a second. I like the scene where he's, like, surrounded by, like, the students, and they're just talking about it, he goes, I got it for Christmas. I thought that was really funny.
I think they could have written a better joke there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They got it for Christmas. It's like, that's not that... you could do better. You're doing your best, Dan Fogel, but the writing is not helping.
You're doing your best. But yeah, technically Kowalski shouldn't even be able to see Hogwarts because he's a muggle, but maybe it's magic.
I think he's like... I think they're treating him more like a squib.
Right.
I don't know the extent in which the enchantments work or whatever, but like, because he's like, he knows about the wizarding world. Right? Yeah. Which is actually like an interesting idea for like a character that we haven't seen done before. Because like, who is it? It's Seamus's parents. One of them isn't a wizard, right? He's just a regular guy. So like,
Dean.
Yeah, Dean Thomas.
Oh no, he's Voldemort. It is Seamus. I'm sorry, keep going.
It's Seamus, right? Because Seamus in the first movie is like, my dad's a wizard, or what? My dad's a muggle. My mom's a witch, right?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, like if he brought his dad to Hogwarts, you would assume his dad could see things, right?
Yeah.
I think it's more like if you've been exposed to the knowledge of the wizarding world.
All right. Okay, I can get behind that.
But I like that as an idea for a character that they should do more with, more stuff like that, and like bring it up and talk about it more. That there's like a muggle who's just like hanging out with wizards.
Yeah, he's gotten to do so much. I give us that in the fourth movie, maybe. Make a fourth movie just for that. That'd be Great.
Just make a Dan Fogler movie.
Yes.
He's just running a bakery.
Yeah, look at him go. He's doing the things. He gets married in the bakery. That's adorable. Like and everyone's look. It's great.
How long did it take you to figure out that the character was Queenie?
Oh, until the wedding.
It took a while because she looks like a completely different person with her hair blonde.
Yeah. I also just completely forgot about her storyline from the second movie. Yeah, it's yeah. It's just it was. I remembered a lot in this movie. I do enjoy that they started giving the beast or the Fantastic Beasts names. Like the Nifflers got names, Teddy and Alfie, and I am big fans of Teddy the Niffler. It was so cute. I love the Nifflers. They might be my favorite of
The Niffler is responsible for what I think is the only genuinely entertaining scene in any of these movies. In this one,
I think I know what you're gonna say.
when the big shelf gets knocked over and he's jumping up and it looks like they're gonna grab hands and then he like passes it and grabs the gold. That's actually really fucking funny.
I've never loved a slow-mo scene more in my notes just because of that. I had to rewind
Very
it. That
good.
was one of the ones I had to rewind just because I loved it so much. It was so funny. I do love Pickett though. He's cute, and he also has like little glasses for some reason in the beginning of the movie, but then he doesn't have the glasses. But it was so cute. Pickett's adorable. Also, yeah, he's great block pick because I believe he did that in the last movie too.
Why was the tie?
I don't know.
Portkey?
I don't know. I don't know the significance of this tie because. Oh no.
Did he turn it into a portkey?
I
Because it goes to Hogwarts. Why would this guy just have a tie that's a portkey to Hogwarts? Why doesn't he's wearing the tie so he's touching it? So
yeah, it's the
did
it was the tie.
did I miss a scene where somebody like gives him the tie?
He's given the tie. So when they're on the train or whatever, Newt gives him the tie. But like it was such like I thought he was just giving him back a random tie, but then I realized because of the emblem, then I remember.
Is it the you have to touch the emblem? Is the emblem the portkey?
The emblem has something to do with something because like apparently the tie is important outside of like the portkey because I don't actually know. I don't know. I think
it is like this movie is predicated. It's the a lot of movies keep trying to do this these days of like the really nested plans within plans. Like the Loki thing, or pretty much everything since The Dark Knight of like this characterized son, and that's kind of what they're doing with Dumbledore in this one. So it's like, oh yeah, we know that you're gonna have to go to this thing. Why Dumbledore knows that? Who fucking knows? So you got to give this guy this tie because it's gonna mean something later. But like, how does he not? One, how do you know he's gonna put the tie on that day? He's presumably has more than one tie.
Maybe.
He presumably did not start wearing ties the minute you gave him that tie.
Yeah, the tie.
But also, like, touching the tie should take him to Hogwarts.
Right. Yeah. I don't understand the tie. By the time I tried to start understanding the tie, it was too late. I was too far into the movie to rewind to try to figure out.
We have a decent understanding of how portkeys work, right? Because even if you touch them accidentally,
right,
you get teleported.
Yeah. Which, speaking of the portkeys, the book portkey, very interesting. Because in the... For one, it leaves a flutter of pages. And then whenever...
It can't be a portkey, right? Did they say it's a portkey?
Because it takes you to different places.
I assumed it was a porky. Do we have a new transportation mode on our hands?
This might be a new transportation mode. Because a portkey takes you to a specific location,
Oh
right?
my god, I didn't even think about
That one, the first time they take it, it puts her on a train car. Is it the Hogwarts Express? Because the next time we do it, she touches it, and we see them again in Hogwarts.
Yes. Okay.
To take the. Because
Because
why would you carry a book around that takes you to a train car?
Right. That makes sense. Oh my god. Also,
So this must be a different kind of teleportation.
it's got
a new kind of portkey.
Yeah. Woohoo! I like that its pages will just like it built that bridge of pages during the assassination attempt. That was
it doesn't even look like a portkey. Like it's got its own like effects going on. Because
Exactly.
the portkey, you touch it, you do like the swirly thing.
Yeah, and then it's boom, done. And
what was that thing? What was that thing at the end of the movie that they go through? The big old bell.
I have no idea. I don't know what that was. It made me dizzy looking at it, though.
That's a new kind of transportation. Big swinging bells that take you to China.
They required it. And there it was. That's another reason why I want the fourth and fifth movie. What transportation modes are they going to come up with next? We need to know, please. We haven't touched on this one. Credence is Aberforth's son, and not Dumbledore's brother.
Yes. That seems decent.
Yeah, it's a lot better than him being a brother. It makes a lot more sense canonically. Well, it makes perfect sense canonically. In terms of the not being the brother, the son thing.
The time, all the issues that we talked about in the last
right.
review that we were worried about,
mm-hmm.
None of that applies because I think that they did actually come up with a pretty decent answer for why he's a devil.
I think so too. I think out of all of the answers we got, this is probably the most decent one. We had a cute little reunion at the end. Well, it wasn't that cute. I shouldn't use the word cute. We got a reunion at the end. Also, they just, randomly blocked the Avada Kedavra curse, but, cool, I guess.
They do that all the time, though, right?
No.
Doesn't Harry do that, a bunch of times?
Well, it's because of their connection. That's why they can't. The things happen.
The Dumbledore kind of has one of those, right? Because he's got the weird thing where they can't. Because he's his spell was trying to kill, and his spell was trying to protect. So when they hit, the thing turned on.
Okay, that's fair. I'm still gonna be mad about it though.
But I mean, when isn't that what they're doing in the Order of the Phoenix when he does the shoot and then Dumbledore does his shoot and then they're going back and forth every time they're doing the weird static electricity shit.
Oh yeah, okay, no, yeah, okay. I think you're right.
I think you can block it. Every time they do one of those big old Dragon Ball battles.
Yeah, of course. Infamous. I'll get
why that destroys the thing doesn't make any fucking sense. And it's clear they had no idea why, and they were just because we need it for the script.
Yes. Okay, because once again, I thought I just completely missed something, and I was too far gone to attempt to rewind. Okay, so it just broke. Okay.
J.K. Rowling fucking loves doing this thing where a thing that's important, that is supposed to be hard to do, happens. And then 10 minutes later in the movie, at the end of the movie, somebody, and it's almost always Dumbledore, goes, the thing that happened just because of love or something.
No,
Nobody knows why.
Classic love. I would not be surprised if in the next installment, the love comes up in some sort of way in terms of that whole dealio. It's always love.
So there's probably 20 minutes of screen time cut out of fucking what's his name's story. Yusuf.
Oh, Yusuf. Oh my god, yeah, he's
totally pointless in this movie.
Yeah.
He doesn't do anything.
No.
There's supposed to be a moment of drama where you think that he's betrayed them.
Mm-hmm.
But that definitely hasn't happened, because if he had betrayed them, there'd be more screen time for Yusuf.
Exactly. Yeah. He's pretty much got the train scene, the scene where he's like, Grindelwald, I love you, and then the end when he's destroys the other wizards. Like that's it.
Because Credence also turns out of fucking nowhere. I assume that there's like a good amount of screen time of Yusuf and Credence, and the reason Dumbledore sent Yusuf there is to turn Credence. I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's got cut out of the movie. Mm-hmm. That might be too generous for the people writing this script.
Credence is essentially sent on like 3 mission type of dealios, tasks, things. Like he's gotta go kill or snag the Chillin. He's gotta go find the other one, and then he's gotta kill Dumbledore. Why is Grindelwald? Credence is barely trained in magic. Why is Grindelwald tasking him, particularly with killing Dumbledore? Like, is it because he knows he'll turn into the Obscurial and then...
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Is because the Obscurial is, like, really... It's, like, chaotic or whatever, right. So, like, Dumbledore can't, like, fight it, I guess, is the idea. But, like, Credence is, like, using a wand and stuff, and it's weird how quickly he learned magic.
Yeah, it makes zero... Like, I don't...
Like, if they just did, like, he's not using a wand and he's just, like, exploding with magic because of the Obscurial thing, which is... Man, that was something from, like, 2 movies ago. I don't fucking remember that at all.
So 2016. Yeah, Also, why... Because they say that Ariana Dumbledore was an Obscurial. Why was Ariana... It makes no sense.
Okay, so this is a really funny bit that happens in the movie where Dumbledore's like, yeah, he's not gonna live very long because he's an Obscurial, and Obscurials don't live long. I know, my sister was an Obscurial. And then Newt's like, oh, so she died because she was an Obscurial? He's like, no, I accidentally killed my sister.
See, no, it's much worse than you actually think, Newt. So, like...
Yeah, so I actually don't know how long Obscurials live. I just assume that they all die from accidents.
It happens. See, that's where... Why was Ariana Dumbledore so easy to kill? When... Like, she was killed so easily. So why can't Credence... Because, like, they spend all that time, specifically in the first one, with trying to destroy Credence or whatever. And then still a little tiny bit floats away, and he actually lives. Woo. But Ariana... Oh my god, I almost said Ariana Grande. Ariana Dumbledore. she gets killed immediately.
It's Creedence Clearwater Revival and Ariana Grande. And Dumbledore.
Dumbledore. Yeah, all your favorite characters. It's just... Why is Ariana killed so easily compared to, like, one they attempted
Yeah, they don't
Credence?
get into that at all. So, like, they drew wands because Dumbledore was leaving with Grindelwald. And so Aberforth, him, and Grindelwald all got into a fight. Were they, like, cursing each other in this, like, family brawl?
That's what it seems like. Because I don't even...
But also, he's like, she came down the stairs and we didn't know, so we just shot. Like,
right.
It's not a gun.
No, it makes...
Like, somebody came down the stairs and you were just like, Avada Kedavra that. Oh, I don't know if it was my spell. What are you guys doing? That's not... The wand is a point and it goes that way kind of thing. It doesn't, like, shoot up the stairs.
It's just... Oh my god.
The explanation in that scene is very bad.
Oh no, and it's bad in like Deathly Hallows when they get into it, because it's like, yeah, we didn't know who killed her, and that's why Aberforth and I don't talk anymore or whatever. But
in the book, they make it seem like it was like they all like locked spells and then
Right.
kind of like exploded.
Yeah,
And they're like,
exactly.
and so we can't like, we don't know who's to blame for it or whatever, but we're
Mhm.
all kind of to blame. This one, it's like somebody's spell hit her and we don't know how.
Yeah, it makes it so much worse. Like, it's just, Ariana, she deserved better.
It's also like a breaking of the canon because apparently Dumbledore and Aberforth like hang out pretty
I know,
regularly.
that's the other, yeah, I didn't. Yeah, like that doesn't make sense. And then also, I looked it up. Then McGonagall being there does not make sense. I don't even think is technically supposed to be born yet during these movies. And that she's supposed to be young. Like, she's not old enough to be teaching yet. So, she's not supposed to be there.
Huh.
Yeah, so, but it's, yeah. Cause, like, yeah. But, there's so many things. What other grapes do I have? Wait, what's this one say? Oh boy. Should maybe have known chillin'. Oh, I already went over that. Sorry, I'm going over my notes now. We're going. This is
Okay, so you go over your notes.
Thank
I'm just
you.
gonna like mention a thing.
Yes, please.
So there's like a really bad screenwriting thing in this movie of just like people don't kill people.
Right.
Just for the sake to keep the movie going forward. Like at the very beginning of the movie, they surprise Newt and kill the adult Chillin.
Yeah.
And like, you could have just killed Newt. Could have killed Newt right there, end of the entire movie.
Oh my god, yeah.
Why shoot the Chillin first? Just kill Newt.
Right. Then you can give all the Chillin. Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
And like they shoot the Chillin like a couple times. Somebody just kill Newt. And it happens again at with Kowalski at the end, where Grindelwald just doesn't kill Kowalski for no reason.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Dan Fogler turns in the worst performance of anybody getting hit by the Cruciatus curse.
Oh
like
my
I
God.
didn't know what happened. I was just like, he's just in pain. Like it looks like he's just like he's just like normal hurt.
Right? Yeah, like. It looked like he was suffocating too. Like, that's not how the Cruciatus curse works. Like, that's pain. Like, okay, I'm not in the wizarding world.
Yeah, when you watch the spider get fucking hit with it in
it's
Goblet of Fire. Yeah, it's like
pain, like not choking or what. Like obviously choking pain.
Yeah,
but it's like pain.
It's like you would break your own back spasming
Right.
from the pain kind
Yeah.
of thing. He's just like laying on the ground like ooh, ugh.
Yeah.
Dumbledore at the end is just like, yeah, my bad, bro. I didn't know that was gonna happen.
So no. Well, you can keep the wand. Have it as a souvenir. Does Grindelwald know that Kowalski is a Muggle?
So this is the thing that I assumed like at the beginning of the movie because they give Kowalski the wand on the premise of like we're gonna confuse them.
Right.
We're gonna keep them on their toes so like they don't know what's going on. Which one? This scene belongs in a different part of the movie because they don't do anything with it until the very end of the movie.
Right.
The whole like we're gonna split up and confuse them never matters until the end with the briefcases. The implication at that point is that they're giving Kowalski a wand so that people will think that he's a wizard. And so that they might think that like they need to go after him, which one, super reckless and dangerous because he can't defend himself. But also he's like I lost the thread there for a second. Grindelwald has like seen Kowalski.
Right. Yeah.
He knows that he doesn't own a wand and can do magic. Like they've interacted. In fact, when Grindelwald was pretending to be
Yeah.
Colin Farrell, he
That's
got
what I
like
was-
briefed on Kowalski. I'm pretty sure they showed up with Kowalski.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that they've met,
Yeah,
like been
I was just thinking that.
introduced.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work. The plan.
No. Nope.
And so this is another thing that I thought was going to eventually turn up in the movie, because like I initially wrote that in my notes.
Mhm.
Of like, why bring Kowalski on this mission? It's just like recklessly dangerous. This could be literally any other wizard to fill this role. If you're just gonna have a guy with a fake wand, you might as well just have a guy with a real wand. And then like eventually, like when I didn't notice it first because I didn't know it was Queenie in the scenes. Eventually I was like, oh, what's going to happen is Dumbledore brought Kowalski into this because it's at a key point in this movie they're going to need Queenie to change sides, and that's why Dumbledore was like, hey, that's why you need to get Kowalski. It was like a plan to trick in later, and then that doesn't happen.
No.
I was like, it's like the most obvious like screenwriting thing to do in the movie because it's a huge plot hole in the movie. Otherwise, Dumbledore is just a reckless asshole,
Of course. Yeah.
and that is exactly what happens.
Yeah, it's Queenie switching sides seems, from what I can remember, seems like it just happens. Like there's nothing, like it's never during like one of the specific points where you like think she's gonna switch. It just happens, and I don't like. Does the enchantment wear off that they put on her? Because like I'm assuming.
No, because she was never enchanted, right? She was like convinced.
Was she? Because like, I had always assumed that when that random lady who's Grindelwald's like right hand person like takes her in and gives her the tea, like they enchanted her, but maybe not. Like maybe she was. I don't know.
No, I think I think that she's just convinced because they're like, hey, we're gonna fuck up the wizarding like government and stuff, and like the whole like you can't have a Muggle husband.
Right. Okay.
I think that they were more like, yeah, you can keep a Muggle slave, because that's what they are doing. In the last movie, they're like, yeah, we're gonna keep Muggles as slaves, and she's like, well, I've been doing that for like a year now, so I'm down.
There we go.
But in this movie, the implication is like from the beginning that she's like already turned.
Oh my god.
Because she has that scene, because she has the thing where she watches him kill the Chillin, and she's all freaked out, and then she talks to CCR, and she's all like, I don't tell him everything, like I lie to him all the time. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Go home!
Yeah, it just...
And then she lies. At when Yusuf shows up, she lies to Grindelwald. So it's like, she's just not the entire time.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a pretty badly written movie.
Is the mirror that has the messages?
Yeah.
Oh no, never mind. Answer my question. I thought in my head I made up the thing that like it was the mirror that Sirius had that he gave Harry in Order of the Phoenix. That
It
Harry
could be.
But like it doesn't, like you can't see the other person. You could just do the messages, like you can't see the other person on the other side like it is in the books. But maybe I don't know. Maybe it's like a type of, I don't remember.
Yeah, I didn't make that connection.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's immaterial whether it is or not.
Yeah, I think I was just trying to make connections.
Hey, when Grindelwald kills the children and its blood, it like goes into that pool, and then like you see stuff in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck was that? What was that? What was that? I couldn't like because you see a face and I couldn't tell who it was.
Yeah, like they could apparently make it out because like I think that's when Grindelwald finds out that no, I don't know.
It doesn't pertain to the movie at all.
No, it doesn't.
It's made to look important in that moment, that the reason he's doing that is so that he can see who is in this thing, and that's going to matter later. Right. And no, that's just completely inconsequential. I don't know if that's like something that got left over from a different version of the movie.
Right.
Like maybe they shot those scenes and they ended up not mattering and they just left him in because you needed to see him kill the thing and they already paid for the CGI. I don't know if it's supposed to like suggest, like I don't know if it's like a callback to something else. No fucking clue.
No idea. No idea.
the structure of this movie like actually like makes no fucking sense because there's like a much easier way to do this movie and like keep things moving the way that they do, but don't. Like, why is the getting of the children just something that happens at the beginning of the movie?
Yeah, I don't.
Because Dumbledore sends this team on a bunch of random ass missions that end up don't mean anything. Like, there's all this. Half the movie seems to be predicated around the idea that Dumbledore knew Newt's brother was going to get captured.
Yeah.
Like, that ends up being half the movie, and it doesn't need to be. Like, they could have, get the team together and then be like, okay, Dumbledore wants us to go get a chillin'. This is what a chillin' is. This is why we need the chillin'. This is how it ties into the end of the movie. Okay, now we go get the chillin'. Now we get into a fight with these guys. Now Newt's brother gets captured. Okay, half the team has to go do this other thing while Newt goes and gets his brother because we need him at the end of the movie. Now we go do the end of the movie. That's how you structure a movie. You don't just stumble into this thing that you do not fucking explain why this thing matters until the last 30 minutes of your movie. It was the opening scene of the fucking movie, and everybody keeps doing it throughout the movie, and you don't do anything within the last 30 minutes.
Amazing. Yeah, no, I agree. I think that is the most passionate you've gotten across all of the Wizarding World movies. I think it's the most passionate I've heard you talk about the movie in general.
I just it just broke into my realization that they didn't ever explain what it does, and it bookends the movie.
Yeah.
It is the most important thing in the entire movie. The entire plot is based around this weird looking deer. And they just never explain what it does.
Fantastic Beasts and
the end of the movie, you get to the end of the movie, and they're like, "Oh yeah, and by the way, this determines who the president is."
Yeah, it's.
Also, all the people who want to kill the Muggles, apparently their vote gets swayed by whether or not this deer likes a guy.
Oh, I know, dude. It was. Everyone was cheering for Grindelwald when they thought he won, and then everyone was cheering for Sadie. Like, bro.
Well, they do they vote, right? They keep talking about the vote. They shoot all the fucking things up in the air.
Yeah. I don't.
So apparently, enough people were like, you know what? I did want to kill all the Muggles, but that guy apparently isn't pure of heart, so I'm not gonna vote for him anymore.
I wonder what gave that away. Yeah, it's just. It just doesn't make sense. I don't get it. I don't get these movies.
Yeah, no, it's extremely badly written. Again, it is better than the last one.
Yes, 100%.
Because the last one. This movie at least makes sense start to finish.
Right.
Like, you experience a narrative. We're confused about things because it's like most of it doesn't matter and it doesn't make any sense. Like, go back and listen to the last episode. The movie doesn't make any fucking sense.
Right. Yeah, I sort of hope they do make 4 and 5, even though they probably won't now. Just to see what's going to happen.
It's crazy that they don't kill Grindelwald in this one.
I know.
Like, what did they expect?
I know. Like,
at least capture him, right? Capture him in this one. Because if by some miracle enough people go see this that you can justify another one, you can just have him escape.
Right. See, they can't kill him though because he's alive.
Right, because he's in
Potter.
So they just have to capture him.
They gotta capture him and deplete him of his magic. Which apparently though, when they tried to do that in the second movie, he just have him escape a few more times. It's fine. It's
exactly like you can come up with whatever reasons why he escapes or whatever.
Exactly.
Like, it doesn't matter.
Right. Just capture him somehow.
Like the fact that this movie series is just never going to end. Like,
Right.
it's just going to end with Grindelwald doing a weird little, like...
Yeah, it's... God, what could possibly... I don't know. Yeah, and then I'm very curious to see how after the Dumbledore Grindelwald fight... I guess he loses the Elder Wand, which is, like, his...
Yeah, they have to actually, like, duel at some point, right?
Right, but the thing is, what I don't understand is...
Okay.
Because Grindelwald stole the Elder Wand shouldn't answer to him, but why is he still so good with it? Like, why? It's just because
Who does he steal it from?
He steals it from Grigorovich, the other wand maker. Because it's like in Deathly Hallows when Harry has like the flashback thingies.
In Deathly Hallows, there's like 3 pages where they go through the history of the wand, right? And who's the master of the wand and why. So I don't know. You're gonna have to like fact check that one.
Yeah. But I know he steals it though, because in the movie they've got him like perched up on a little windowsill.
Yeah, I remember that. Because
Yeah,
like
you
in the movie you think that it's Dumbledore, and then like actually no, it's just some guy.
It's just, it'll make sense in 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, it won't, but it will.
Yeah, like if you read the book, it's like a cool moment. If you haven't, it's just it's just some kid.
It's some dude. Yeah. Yeah. It'll be interesting to find out if they make the other movies.
There's no way they do.
There's no way.
There's no way they
barely made back its money, and it's a Harry Potter movie. Well, Wizarding World movie, but
especially because they're coming off of back-to-back. I mean, I guess that's not back-to-back failures, right? Because the second one did surprisingly well.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the only one that can like really be, but like, I think even they seem to consider it a failure, right? Because they did a bunch, like they took away J.K. Rowling's like sole writing powers and stuff, and they did a bunch of stuff to try to course correct with this movie. So they were already on like the back foot with this one.
Right.
So there's just no way they go back to this.
Yeah. It's
Like maybe they do try to continue the story in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe they drop the Fantastic Beasts and do a different Harry Potter prequel that can wrap all this up.
Mm-hmm.
But I can neither see them greenlighting another one or that being successful at all.
Right. Yeah.
Nobody wants these movies.
No. It'll be interesting to see what Warner Brothers decides.
Because like the decision behind these, right, is that the studio is banking on we have a built-in audience that is going to go see the movie no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And they have proven that is not true. There is a what. It is not no matter what. You can make a movie so bad that the Harry Potter fans will not go see it.
Yeah. Did we to I suppose start to wrap this up? What were the secrets of Dumbledore?
Yeah, I don't know. So the thing is that Dumbledore is the last name, right? So it's really Aberforth's secret.
Shit, I didn't think about it like that. Oh, they got it.
And I guess it is also like that he killed his sister, but that's like not a secret to anybody.
The most.
I don't think anybody saw this movie and didn't know that happened.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's. Yeah, that's. I don't know what it.
Yeah, I think it is, and it's like, I guess it is just Credence's identity, like who he actually is, was the secret of Dumbledore, but it's also like not that big of a deal.
Right. Yeah, it's okay.
I guess the briefcases qualify as the secret of Dumbledore.
Got all the briefcases. Okay. Because now I'm thinking about it. So the second movie, real quick. The boats, the big boat when they go to the U.S.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who was on the boat again?
It must have been
Was it the woman?
Aberforth's. Yeah, the woman that
Lady
Aberforth had a kid with.
So wait, how? So wait. So the baby, what baby actually died then? Was it?
It was
It was the
Letta's
actual
brother. Yeah.
And then, okay.
Mhm.
That hurt my head for a second because I couldn't remember who all was there.
It's very silly.
Yeah, especially now because we know who those.
What an incredible chance.
But I know, out of everyone.
I don't totally understand like what happens with the boat because they were all on the boat, right?
Yeah.
So how did
Were they? Yeah, wait, were they?
how did they all survive? I'm not watching the movie again. I'm not reading the Wikipedia synopsis for like the 10th time. I'm not doing it again.
Oh my god, what a trilogy. What an experience we've been through.
Yeah.
Do you have?
I wish we hadn't have done this.
Yeah, it's it. Yeah. It, especially coming off of just rewatching all the Harry Potter movies. Well, okay, I say just got 6 months. It really, ooh boy. Yeah, canon stuff.
I know that we talked about it a little bit in the original Harry Potter movie Magic Time.
Of course.
And I know that in like private conversations I've talked to you about it before, that I felt that J.K. Rowling was more of a lucky writer than a good writer. This is now 100% confirmed.
Absolutely.
She is a bad writer who got really, really lucky for like 7 books in a row.
You can't win them all, you know? It's oh yeah. Yeah, she should not stick to anything, but definitely not movie scripts.
Yeah.
Like apparently she like told Jude Law all of Dumbledore's plot lines too, so like he knows what will happen, whether those movies happen or not. So I'm curious to know what he knows, possibly about Dumbledore's life. But
do you think she'll like publish screenplays like they did with Cursed Child?
Oh god.
Or just like Fantastic Beast books? Because there's been like a couple things like that where like they'll do like comic books to like wrap up a thing that got canceled.
Maybe. Especially, yeah. I think maybe, yeah, because especially because of Cursed Child, which we should have known from then. But
So I never finished the Cursed Child. I only read the first half, and I was like, yeah, this is pretty good.
Oh yeah, I did enjoy it.
I did. I like so like the first half, like because it's like Act 1, Act 2, right?
Right.
Act 1 ends when they go back in time.
Oh, okay, that's okay. Yeah, no, the other.
And so I was like, "Yeah, this is pretty good so far." And then I just never got around to reading Act 2, and everybody's like, "It's so bad, it ruins so much stuff when they go back in the past." And I was like,
You should
half is
just
pretty
keep
decent.
it. You should keep it that way. Stay in Act 1. Yeah, it's I have not read it since it came out in 2016, and I did hear that it's better seeing it as the play itself. I just can't get over the canon stuff that it completely breaks. That's just also just me.
well, see, the canon is apparently extremely malleable.
Yeah. I think if we learned anything from this series, yes, 100%. Extremely malleable and adding things when they're needed, just to make the plot work.
Yeah. Yeah, it's somehow just like so long and nothing happens. I don't know how she manages to do that in these movies.
I'm just I am wondering like what like the other people involved with like especially like people like Jude Law or Mads Mikkelsen who have been in like good shit. Like what do they think? What are they?
Oh, I bet Mads Mikkelsen like Mads Mikkel. I love Mads Mikkelsen.
Mhm.
He's amazing. His like mo
Mhm.
is he'll come to America and take one of these massive paychecks for doing one of these shitty blockbusters, and he takes all the money back to his home country and makes independent films.
Good for him. All right, let's keep
Yeah,
doing
he's
these then.
awesome.
Hell yeah! All right, I'm
And
down.
like Jude Law, who knows about Jude Law? He was in fucking like Alfie. So
Gattaca. That's all I've got.
he's pretty good at Gattaca.
Yeah, that's
He's like he might be like the one of the better actors who's I think mostly been in bad movies.
oh no. Oh, Jude Law. Road to Perdition. That's the only other Jude Law movie.
Oh, he's fantastic
He's
in Road to Perdition.
Road
He's
to-
like super creepy.
Yes.
He's like I Heart Huckabees is pretty good, but a super weird movie. He's pretty good in it. I had another Jude Law movie off the top of my head. I just totally lost it. Jude Law. He's good.
Jude Law. Shout out
Good
to
actor.
Jude Law. Come on the show. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, do you have any wrap-up thoughts for possibly the last episode of Harry Potter Movie Magic Time? Maybe? Question mark.
Nah, I think we got about through all of it.
Yeah. I would agree. It's possibly over. Oh no, this is so sad. Harry Potter Movie Magic Time. Shout out. I don't remember how to outro a podcast. How do you do a podcast? Where can people find you, Brandon?
They can find me at Jose Ruckus on most social media platforms. And yeah, that's about it.
You can find me at PotterPants212. Also on most social, it's mainly Twitter. And there's a link in my bio to find me at other places if you want. It's up to you. Yes, thank you for coming to Harry Potter Movie Magic Time and HBO Max. Oh, you can follow the podcast. I haven't done that in a while. Follow the podcast.
Yeah, at HBO Maks.
Yes, everywhere.
We don't really use it as much as we should use it more.
Yeah, I agree. I don't have the login for the Twitter, so it's always a fun surprise.
Oh, did you lose your login?
I never had the login for the Twitter.
You sure? I'm pretty sure you tweeted from the account.
I've never tweeted from the account.
Oh, I'll give you the login.
Yeah, it's always so, but it's always fun because it's the only Twitter account I have tweet notifications on for. So I was like, oh, look at that, HBO Max tweeting. Yeah, good Twitter. Go follow it. And follow the podcast wherever you find podcasts. It's everywhere, I think.
You know what? We're gonna start doing more of these now. I guess we're gonna like actually finally like commit to doing a podcast. So like do like the ratings, give us the 5-star ratings,
right.
Subscribe. Comment on the, you know what, the YouTube. This is mostly a YouTube show, so leave a comment. Which magical movie time, which Harry Potter movie did you think was the worst?
Yes. This is podcast things. Do the things, please.
Yeah. Is there anything other things you're supposed to do on a podcast?
I don't know. I've never gotten this far before.
Oh, okay. Well then, bye, I guess.
Bye.